are ideologically very aligned in terms of decriminalizing certain behavior and doing other things that in part has led to the decline and decay of cities like that.
I don't like clowns.
Get on with it!
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Friends, my best friend from kindergarten is still one of my best friends.
That's crazy.
Right? Stacey Johnson.
Yeah, that's dope. I love it.
We used to go to the clubs and her father Seville.
Yeah. Going from a show to a whole entire company, what is your your economic plan moving forward for people who are living paycheck to paycheck and struggling for groceries and rent and homeowners?
So, look, I grew up, so my sister and I were raised by our mother. We lived for a long time in an apartment on top of a child care center. That child care center was actually owned by a woman who lived 2 doors down from us, Mrs. Shelton, who was, by all of our accounts and feelings, our second mother. She helped raise us. And so she was a small business owner. So I'll start with the small business and congratulations on what you guys have done. I, from a child, knew who our small business owners are, right? I mean, you're business leaders, but you're also civic leaders. You take seriously your voice and how you can mentor, how you can grow, right? Communities and the sense of communities.
You're not answering my fucking question.
Kamala Harris visited the southern border for the first time in 3 years. Look, this is being called a photo op, and of course it is one, because Kamala's being accused of not caring about the border until she actually needed to for her campaign. She tweeted that as president, I will secure our border and will work to fix our broken system of immigration.
She was the one who broke it.
On purpose.
Forever remaining in power.
But Coach Agata, she's been in office. This has been in her remit. So surely voters aren't buying this.
It wouldn't appear to, when we look at the polls and the movements and everything that's happening and the tightening that's happening there. You know, this is part of her strategy. We've seen it where it's generally light on policy. There's a couple things that she points to. And on the border, she points to this bill that was supposedly somewhat bipartisan that was trying to be passed recently and got scuttled, and she blames Trump for that, even though Trump isn't anywhere in the government. So that's kind of what she's trying to say, like, hey, we had this great thing, it failed, when I come in, I'm going to change it. But to your point, people aren't blind. It's very well understood what the illegal immigration problem is in the U.S. right now. There was a damning report that came out from ICE the other day of criminally charged and convicted people that have been let into the country. There are anecdotal situations that we see in Springfield, Ohio, and Nantucket and elsewhere. So I don't quite think it's going to work, but it sounds like that's the tune she's going to continue to sing in the 32 days we have left.
Sing, just sing, just sing, just sing.
From the Border Patrol Union, get a go, look at this. This is their response. Vice President Harris has ignored the border problem she created for over 3 years. She goes down there for 20 minutes for a photo op and decides to repeat some of the things the NPBC has said before. But again, where's she been for the last 3.5 years?
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
And her running mate, Tim Walls, has copped criticism after having a meeting with Alex Soros, the son of George Soros, in his luxury NYC apartment. This comes after revelations that Soros-backed organisations have ramped up their attempts to mobilise illegal immigrants to get them to act as voting blocs in swing states.
Democratic process.
So who actually...
Who is the threat to our democracy?
Kosha, tell me about the influence of George Soros, his organisations, on US elections. It's not just the presidential race that they have an interest in.
Yes, George Soros and his Open Societies Foundation, which is the main vehicle that he uses to fund various activism and initiatives, its influence on US elections cannot be overstated. So it's a couple of tranches. One is partnering with these NGOs to fast track immigrants basically coming in through the asylum system or other systems and fast tracking their naturalization process. They've done something like 250,000 people have been naturalized into US citizens just in the last 12 months, and they've got a stated goal of doing that for millions.
Millions of registered voters.
And also coupled with resettling them into red counties and red states, which is no coincidence because that kind of thing can sway and does sway elections that are won and lost now on razor-thin margins in the US.
Anyone with half a brain can see through his petty little scams and tricks.
The other thing to your point is he does fund local elections, and specifically DAs that are elected positions. There are famous ones in San Francisco and LA. We're all sort of handpicked by Soros, and they are ideologically very aligned in terms of decriminalizing certain behavior and doing other things that in part has led to the decline and decay of cities like that. That's something as well that he's very methodically, his organization is very methodically executing, and his son seems to be carrying that mantle because George Soros is very, very old, but his son seems to be carrying that mantle and will probably be continuing some of these tactics well into the future.
These evil forces, they're bad people.
Here is a vile lefty celebrating a deadly, devastating hurricane hitting Republican states. These people are evil.
So when I seen the hurricane hit North Carolina and Tennessee, the first thing I thought was, damn, there goes some racists. There we go, we got some gone. And then I just seen this video that like the area it hit is like sundown town after sundown town after sundown town.
There's no such thing.
Rehashing the past.
I have nothing else to say.
And they are just completely flattened and gone. And I was like, God's work. God's work.
I have no words for that, really.
Biden should dissolve the Supreme Court.
Dissolve the Supreme Court?
I'm the president. I'm the king now, like you said, and go home.
Lunacy.
He's the real threat here, okay?
Never return.
Waiter, look, it's the donut truck. We gotta go get it.
Gypsy.
Look. Huh?
You're my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoot.
It is a messed up world.